Now it is the time to know that why did people settle on the subcontinent? Like what were the reasons or what were the facts behind settlement of people on the subcontinent? The very first reason is a long coastline, as you can see in this picture as well. The colored countries are the countries of South Asia, and if you look at their coastline as well, this long coastline basically provides a better trade route for the people of subcontinent, and that's why majority of people came to subcontinent. And then we have second reason of river systems. As only you can see in Pakistan, the river system or the canal system is very diverse. In the same manner, the whole subcontinent, you can see the river system is really diverse, just as you can see this Ganga river system in India. Moving forward, we had fertile land. Just as in Pakistan, we have agriculture, our main source of earning. In the same manner, in the whole subcontinent, the land was fertile, so that's why people came to subcontinent. Next one is natural resources. Just as in you compare the old subcontinent with present Pakistan, and now Pakistan has a diverse variety of natural resources, from minerals to natural gas and many others. In the same manner, in the whole subcontinent, majority of the natural resources were present, so that's why people came to settle in subcontinent. And last reason is favorable climate. As you see in Pakistan, that there are four different weathers, and the climate is neither extremely hot, neither extremely nor extremely cold. So that's why, due to favorable climate, people used to settle in subcontinent. Moving forward, we have our next question: why do we study the people of subcontinent? Like, the subcontinent and its civilizations are centuries old, so why we are studying today in 21st century these things? There are reasons behind it, and the first reason is to know how people, countries and cultures have evolved, like how the present people are different from their earliest ancestors. And the second reason is to know the past of our own nation. For example, in Pakistan, we have certain events or things like just like in our marriages or weddings, we celebrate a function entitled as Mehndi, and this function is not the part of our religion or our own culture. This is something which we inherited from the people with whom our ancestors lived, and those people belong to other cultures, so we inherited those things. So to know the past of our nation, we study the people of subcontinent. To find how cultures have developed, like how cultures are evolved, so in that regard we study people of subcontinent. The last reason is to plan our future by learning from history. For example, we have heard this thing a lot, that history repeats itself. So if there are certain mistakes which have been committed by our ancestors in our history, so why not to learn from those mistakes and to plan our future accordingly? Moving forward, now in this slide we can see the diversity of cultures of Pakistan. Like in this left side, you can see there are people from Baloch, Pashto, Punjab, and Sindh. But on the other hand, this whole map represents the culture of Pakistan. These are Balochis, then we have Sindhis, and here there are Punjabis, and there are Pathans. So this is an amalgam of cultures. This is a melting point. These people came from, their ancestors came from different nations, different areas. They settled over here, and at the end, the culture of Pakistan got birth. It was kind of, you can say, a melting point. Like people from different areas came, and the people who were left here, they got this culture of today. Moving forward, our next target is to learn few new words, and the very first word which we would be learning today is evolve. Now, evolve means to develop gradually. It means something that grows with the passage of time, just as our cultures get evolved. Our cultures do not get birth instantly, they are the process of evolution. The next word which we have already done in the start of this chapter, that is CE. CE means common era. Common era means the time period after the birth of Christ. And then we have BCE, that is before Common Era, and then we have the last word BC, and it stands for before Christ. BC is no longer used, and now at the time we use only CE and BCE. I hope these words are clear. Moving forward, it's time to know your homework. You have to do the reading of page number 2, and next target is write the vocabulary words on loose sheets. And my dear students, a quiz is waiting for you in the next lecture, so get ready for it. Good luck. And the message for today is believing in yourself is the secret to success. So, my dear students, believe in yourselves. Thank you.